What's going on, my people? It's Champion Yogi, and I'm here again. And today, I want to talk to you about a very, very popular vinyasa transition. We're going to talk about a three-legged down dog to the high lunge transition. Now, every time we step to this, it can be used for a lot of different ways. You can come to Warrior Two, you can come to Warrior One, you can come to Chair, you can come to Warrior Three, you can come to a lot of different places, right? But it's typically just done as a high lunge and from the three-legged down dog. We're lifting that leg up, we're bringing it under. Some of us have a problem getting that foot to step all the way forward. Some of us have a problem with the balance of being able to rise up, but all of us have options. I'm gonna give them to you right now. Let's do it. So immediately, I want to talk about the way that we can start to work into fixing this immediately, right? We don't want to have to wait 6 months for this to be a thing. We want to talk about what we can do today. So start to talk about what we can do today is bringing some blocks into your practice. Bringing blocks down onto your mat can give you a space that allows you to lift your body up a little bit higher. And typically what the problem is here is being able to get this knee and this foot to come underneath. So as you lift yourself up to these blocks, that can give you a little more space to be able to step that foot forward. Some thinner blocks is usually a good idea to go with, but if you have thicker blocks, feel free to use them. If you have cork blocks, you know I love cork blocks, so feel free to use them as well. But some thinner blocks can help lift you off the mat and help make that step a little bit more comfortable for you. Now, let's talk about if you don't have blocks. Maybe this is your first yoga class. Maybe you're walking into a space and you didn't take your stuff, whatever. Let's talk about what your options are today that you can do right now for your practice to make it a little more gentle of a step, a little more comfortable, and allow you to appreciate the class a little more. Okay. So when we're hearing this downward facing dog, the number one thing that I would suggest to anybody who's struggling with this step is to bring your knees down to the mat, right? So let's say you're in the downward facing dog, you're doing your thing, and your leg is up for that three-legged down dog. So you found the space. Now, that step could be a lot. So let's bring this foot back down, lower the knees back down, and we can even swing this right leg a little bit out to the right and start to sink into this lunge. And then come up to the lunge by lifting the chest up. You can even use this hand to allow yourself to lift the chest up. And you can just stay in this lunge right here. This could be your lunge for the day. But if you want to tuck the toe and lift the back knee, and that can start to help you come up into that high lunge. This also gets you to that lunge space. So again, allowing that knee to come down really gives you the space to be able to get that foot forward into a good space and then lift up and come into it when you're ready. Okay. Another option that you could go through is grabbing the ankle with your hand. Okay. So let's say if you go from that three-legged down dog, take a step forward, but foot only comes right here. You can reach back, grab this ankle, use those toes, and work that foot forward into your lunge. Once you have that foot into your lunge space, again, hand can help support, or you can just press into the foot, start to lift up, and come up into your high lunge. Okay. So those are some things that you could do immediately. Now, your teacher may not say, bring your knees down and step forward. But remember, this is your yoga class that you're taking. This is for your body. And if that's the best way to get you to do it, then bring the knees down or grab the ankle, but adjust for your lunge. Okay. Another thing that you want to be considerate of when you're coming into this practice is the balance. Sometimes when we start to lift off, it can get a little bit shaky and a little bit wobbly, and we can't quite hold it together, and we're not quite sure why, right? And so I always give this lesson out in my class. It is easier to stand on a sidewalk than it is to stand on a tightrope, okay? You allow your right foot to come towards the right side of the mat, and then your left foot to be towards the left side of the mat. So your hips are staying right down the center of the mat. When you allow that to happen, that creates a good supported balance space and allows you to press into the foot and lift yourself up and still be in a balance. You can move these shoulders as much as you like, and not really much is going to happen because you have support on the right side and you have support on the left side. So make sure that when you step that foot forward, one of two things could happen. You can either try to intentionally step this foot more so towards the right hand, so you have that hand on the foot on the right side, or you can step in the middle like you usually do, but then allow yourself to work those toes over to the side, work those toes over to the side, and find that good base for you to sink into that lunge. Now, those are some things that you can do to practice today. Let's talk about some things that you can do to benefit your tomorrow's practice. First, it's all about that core, right? So finding this good cat cow and press through the palms is going to help you out. We're trying to pull this knee into the body, okay? So what we want to do here is we just want to come to this cat cow. We take an inhale. We start to let the belly lower down and let the chest lift up so we can get ready to explode through this. And then exhale, Press through those palms to lengthen out the arms and rotate the elbows together. Lift the belly up off the mat so there's more space to come underneath your body. Good. Then inhale, lower the belly back down and lift up. And then exhale, lift. Good. This is a great space that's going to allow you to create space. Always remember, use your exhales to blow the air out, use your inhales to make the belly bigger. So you want to use those exhales so you can have the space to pull the knee in. You can get started with the practice right here by pulling the knee in and then extending out. When you extend out, press the belly down, lift the gaze up. Exhale, pull the knee in. Now remember, we're trying to keep this foot lifted back next to this hip, right? When we start to come into this space, one of the first things that usually happens is this foot is already trying to step. You're already thinking about the step. You don't want to be thinking about the step here because you haven't quite shifted forward first. So you want to get into that shift and then construct on the step, okay? So you really want to focus on bringing this knee and this foot in as high as you can. Inhale here, taking the belly down. Exhale, blow, hollow, and pull that knee in, okay? Pulling that knee in is going to give you the space that you need to get that foot underneath the body and step, pressing through those palms, keeping those long arms, okay? Working through that. I would suggest if the wrists are going to bother you, but you really need that core work, to take it to your back. Lay onto your back and allow yourself to pull the knee into the chest and take the foot up nice and high, right? So you start working on that step. You can take the hands up, pull the knee in, and stack, right? And then right here is a good space to also take a pulse to strengthen this core muscle, okay? So exhale, just like you would be doing to pull it in and flatten out. And then right here, pull and lift. Find that good locked in space, right? Pull, like it stops right here. This is as far as it comes. So take a good exhale and try to find that lift. Now, a couple of reps of that, a couple of rounds of that is going to start to strengthen the muscles in the core and help you really be able to pull that in. Okay. So again, think about pushing those shoulders over your knuckles to be able to step forward. And then lastly, I want you to think about stepping with the heel of your foot, not the toes, with the heel. Okay. So when you step with the toes, it takes you back a little bit, right? So if we're in that three-legged down dog, we start to step forward, we get into the space, but we bring the toes down first, then our bodies come back to where the heel is, right? So I want you to start thinking about where the heel can come to first and keeping those toes lifted as you come underneath, okay? So right here, exhale, shift forward, heel, steps first, and then roll through the toes. And now we go forward through that space. And again, that still may not be far enough, so take the time, open up. Sinking into that lunge is also going to help you strengthen that space and work into what you need to do to be able to get into that step. And then after that, it's just reps, it's just sets, right? We're finding that space. You're stepping into it. You're lifting up nice and high. You're rolling it all the way back. Three-legged down dog, all the way to the high lunge position is always there for you when you need it, and you can always take it down. So remember, your options are from that three-legged down dog. You can take the knees down, step the foot forward, lift the back knee, and then find that high lunge. Your another option is from here is to lower that foot, grab that foot, adjust those feet, and then lift yourself into that high lunge. Another option to step forward is that pull that knee in, blow that out big. Step to the top of the mat, sink the hips down, and pull it all the way back. There's thousands and thousands of ways to transition into this. Make sure you use your blocks if you feel like they will support you. Again, using those blocks with the hands right on top of the blocks will start to let you have a little more space when it comes to stepping that foot forward towards the top of the mat. Allow those blocks to be your friend. Lift them up. If your arms are a little shorter or something of that nature, that may be an issue for you, right? So feel free to take advantage of that. Use those blocks. Let it work for you. Let this be a more comfortable part of a yoga practice for you. Hi. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If this was helpful at all, I am happy. If it wasn't, if you need more feedback, feel free to reach out to me. Come to my website, book me, go to my Instagram, go to my TikTok, send me a message. Let's work on booking a private session in person, online, whichever one works out for you. And I can help you see what the issue is that you're having, the disconnect that you're having. And I'm sure we can find a way to make it all work out for you. If you need more from me, comment below and I will explain how to make your yoga practice a whole lot more comfortable for you. Join me for class online and offline at any of the studios that I teach at. Reach out to me and find out where I am and make sure you are there. I am coming to all the places all over the world all the time, and I'm always here for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for practicing with me today. I leave you with light, I leave you with love. I leave you with peace. Namaste.